Again, my recommendation is always for you to not travel at this time. Stay home if you can, but if you do need to travel, I have 3 ways that you can travel. By my first being by the sea, because it's open air. The second being road trip with your family or yourself, but at least with your personal car and transportation. The last and the least recommendation is by air, making sure that you take all the social distancing precautions and checking the rules, the immigration rules, if you are flying abroad for some family emergency and for compulsory travels. Make sure you check the immigration rules so you are not being sent back to where you are coming from, and follow all the social distancing rule. Be careful, take precautions, wear your mask, wear your gloves, take your wipes. Be careful. Coronavirus is out there and it's real. I want us all to stay safe and healthy, if not for you, for the elderly people around you and the one in your family. Again, I'm saying it, stay home. Social distancing is still the best approach to fighting this coronavirus until we have a vaccine or a treatment recommendation for it from the health professional. So 3 ways I've traveled recently: by sea, by the road, and by air. By sea is my top recommendation because it's easy. When I mean it's easy, it's open. It's an open space. When you ride in a boat or in a ferry or whatever kind of form of sea transportation you have to travel with, it's an open space, so the air is being circulated and can flow. Like there's a less probability of being in close contact with other people or in a closed space with other people. So it's really much more safer than being in a closed environment, like in a closed car driving on the road with strangers. So don't take public transport. I've not taken any public transport, so please stay away from taking public buses for a long distance travel. So by sea, it's actually highly recommended because when you go fast in the sea, it's kind of open air and you can breathe from different circulation. So that's the first recommendation if you do need to travel or do a quick getaway to an island or so. But before you do, make sure you check to make sure that the dock is open, or the seaport you are going to be taking that sea transportation from is open, what their social distancing rules are. Make sure you go with your face mask, your sanitizer, and know that you have, when you get off from your destination, you have a private car or a family member that is actually tested already, or know for sure that they have no coronavirus, is there to pick you up and go to your location safely, and stay indoors or stay with its social distancing rules, please. The second way of traveling is by road. So if you do want to take a road trip, please take it with a family member, take with your personal car, and then make sure that you come with all your sanitary essentials. So whether it's your wipes, your face mask, your hand sanitizer, and I would advise you not to actually stop in a public place to use the bathroom, because you can't really guarantee what you're going to catch there or what germs have been left there. Make sure that if you do stop to use the bathroom, it's a place that is well sanitized. So if you can drive safely from one location to the other without having to stop here and there with your family, then please, you can actually do that. That can be another way of traveling. When you do get to your location, if it's just to a different state or a park or a location somewhere you want to go for a day and come back the next day, when you arrive there, make sure you take your personal sanitizing equipment or sanitizing materials. So like your wipe down the environment that you're going to be staying. Make sure it's all well clean, and then when you are leaving, also please wipe it down for other people who are coming after you, so they don't carry any germs or they are not in contact with anything you left behind. So that's the second way that I have traveled. The last one, being the most scary one, is by air. We all know when you are in the air, you are in a close proximity with other people that you don't know where they are coming from at the airport, how you get to the airport, when you get off the airport. So that's the most dangerous one, the least advisable one. But if you do decide to travel by air, if you take an Uber to the airport, please wear your mask inside the Uber. Wear a glove if you can. Some people are wearing a pullover, like a surgical pullover. You can do that if you want to be extreme, but if you don't want to, but I do advise you wearing your mask and of course your gloves. So when you get to the airport, before you get there, make sure you've checked in. So you don't have any contact with any customer service. If you do need to use the kiosk, take your wipe and wipe the kiosk down and use it. Then the security lines are well spaced out now, so you wouldn't have any contact with anybody. The security people wouldn't have to touch you because of the social distancing rule. They didn't touch me, for sure, I can say that. And you can just scan your passport and make sure that everything is right, and you can go through security without any contact. Try to pack your bag in a way that you will not be stopped at the airport. When I mean pack your bag, if there's any liquid or anything, make sure you break them out and make sure you check that the liquids are within the rules of the airport, so you don't have to have any contact with anybody. So again, take your wipes so you can wipe down your bag once it goes through security to avoid picking up any germs. Then when you get to the security at the gate where you are boarding your plane, now nobody touches anybody anymore. Even before now, I think people barely touch you at the security of the gate where you are boarding your plane, so you can go in safely. Inside the plane, a lot of flights are now social distancing. They don't overbook their flights, so there are fewer people in the flight. But try to use the bathroom before you go into the plane, so you don't have to use the bathroom in the plane. Hopefully it's a short flight and a short distance that you're going to. Wear your mask throughout the time you're there. If you need to get something from the servers, make sure that they are giving you something that is disposable. And if you can avoid getting anything from them, you can buy your food or bring your food just to avoid the contact from people. Again, minimize contact as much as you can. Wear your gloves. That's how you avoid contact and catching any virus issue within the plane. Lastly, if you do need to travel by air to a different country, and this is really important, make sure you check the immigration rule on the other side and all of the coronavirus rule. For many countries, all of the coronavirus rule. For many countries, you are required to do a coronavirus test. It's a very specific one that they require. So check the immigration rule for any country you're flying into, so you have to avoid you being deported back to where you're coming from. So when you do check that, at least you are better prepared. Some places and some cities requires you to be quarantined for 14 days when you arrive, so you plan for those days, and also we plan to have your coronavirus test before you land, so you are better prepared. Again, my recommendation is always for you to not travel at this time. Stay home if you can, but if you do need to travel, I have 3 ways that you can travel. My first being by the sea, because it's open air. The second being road trip with your family or yourself, but at least with your personal car and transportation. The last and the least recommendation is by air, making sure that you take all the social distancing precautions and checking the rules, the immigration rules, if you're flying abroad for some family emergency and for compulsory travels. Make sure you check the immigration rules so you are not being sent back to where you're coming from, and follow all the social distancing rule. Be careful, take precautions, wear your mask, wear your gloves, take your wipes. Be careful. Coronavirus is out there and it's real. I want us all to stay safe and healthy. If not for you, for the elderly people around you and the one in your family. You might not be a carrier, you might be a carrier, and you might be strong enough, your immune system might be strong enough to fight it, but the person that comes in contact with you when you have it might not. So let's save ourselves and let's save life. I hope we keep staying strong as we fight this battle together, because nothing lasts forever. Corona is not going to last forever, but while it's here, we take care of each other. So I hope this video was helpful to you. And if you do need to travel, safe travel and stay safe. But if you don't, stay indoors and stay quarantined. I'll see you again in my next episode. Until then, this is a conversation with Gift Patrick, and this is my segment, Travel with Gift Patrick. I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.